But we're going to kick things off here, fellas, with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Cleveland Browns. The Bucs have now moved to 3.5-point favorites over the Browns. 42.5 to 43 is the number. I took the Bucs at 3. This was one of my better, more confident bets of the week here. This Browns team has a defense that I don't get it because the talent is there. I don't understand it. The scheming must be just absolutely atrocious. They can't stop anybody. And if you have a pulse, you can march up and down on this Browns defense, and every team has done it all year long. And the Bucs coming out of a bye here where I imagine they will shift more to Rachaad White. The 3 receivers are going to be the healthiest they have been all season long. Brady has a week to kind of figure out where things have been going wrong, where things have kind of gone right, do more of the right and less of the wrong. He is that type of guy. I expect us to see probably the best version of this Bucs team that we've seen all season long coming out of the bye, heading into this game against Cleveland, against a defense that has consistently underperformed all season long. I thought getting it at 3, and by the way, there is one expensive 3 still available at PointsBet if you wanted to take it. So again, the minus 115 on the 3 is still a bargain, because if you were to buy off of a 3 in a market, it's going to cost you about 130. So just kind of a way to go about that. If you see an expensive 3 and you're getting kind of less than 130, you're getting a cheaper number than if you were just buying off of it, as it was sitting at a flat 3. So Steven, I'll start with you on this one, but look, the Bucs, they're going to make the playoffs. They're going to win that division. The offense has started to look a little bit better, started to step kind of in the right direction. Julio Jones, by the way, looked like he had some pep in his step still in the game before the bye. Like, I don't know. I maybe think we might have written this Bucs team off for dead a little bit too soon.
The offense, I agree. They're still banged up on defense. They lost some key pieces. Shaq Barrett's out. But the offensive handicap here for the Bucs, I completely agree with you. I would be interested in 3, but I think when most people watch this over the weekend, all the 3s are going to be gone. There's only 1 left as we record right now, and I don't think it's coming back. So the offensive, I'll say this, all the talk we've had all season about concerns about the Tampa Bay offensive line, Brady in his, galaxy brain self is smart enough to mitigate it, because they are number 1 in the league in pressure allowed, number 1 in adjusted sack rate. Brady gets rid of the ball. He knows where to go. He delivers it, and defenses can't get to him. So now that takes away some of the explosive plays downfield that take time to develop, but he's okay with that, with going longer drives down the field, eating up some clock, and they're number 1 across the board in terms of, pressure on the quarterback, percentages, overall numbers as well. So they're also number 1 in the league in pass play percentage. No team is more pass heavy than Tampa Bay, and that flies in the face of what the coaches have told us about wanting to run on first down, right? With Todd Bowles and Byron Leftwich. It's like Tom Brady doesn't care, and he's going to run what he wants to at the line of scrimmage. So I love that Rachaad White's getting more work over Leonard Fournette. I love the fact that in this matchup, you're playing a Cleveland Browns defense that's dead last in the league in defensive EPA. They are bottom 5 across the board in all the defensive metrics. So that's a situation where, I want to back a favorite here at a small number. And I'm curious what Adam thinks here. I'm tempted to still play the 3.5 here because of how bad this Cleveland defense is.
Adam, when we take a look, this Browns offense, even though, so as bad as the defense has been, if you look at this offense, and you look at the advanced, this is where the advanced metrics sometimes don't match up with what we see on the field. And listen, we love the numbers and but like, there has to be some subjectivity, and we have to be able to take what we see with our eyes into account as well, right? This team, whenever you take a look at this Browns squad, yes, again, okay, if you looked at 23 last week, like I mentioned, they got a touchdown with 19 seconds left. So let's call that more closer to kind of a 14, 15, 16 point output. 17 points the week prior against the Dolphins. Now, they had the outlier against the Bengals, but then you go back to the Ravens, 20 points. Patriots, 15 points. Like, Falcon, they only scored 20 points on the Falcons. Like, not only has the defense been bad, like, yes, they run the ball well and they're efficient at running the ball, but they can't play from behind. Jacoby Brissett's not the guy. There's just not any of that really for this team as well. And so I expect Tampa to be able to put, if 27 points on the board. And if that's the case, like, they're going to win this game, and they're going to win this game probably at margin, because I don't think the Browns have it in them to put up a big score.
I need to begin this handicap with I'm going to call it a plea, not admonishment.
A song?
To Gisele Bundchen. Gisele, the jiu-jitsu instructor? Really? You could have any man on earth and you're going for the jiu-jitsu. Like, it's the most cliche thing you could possibly do coming out of the marriage in your mid-40s and going for the fitness guy. Just do better for yourself and do better for Tom. Because this week, I think Tom's going to be really mad. And Tom Brady mad is a good thing. You back Tom Brady mad laying 3 points on the road because Tom Brady doesn't want to think about your jiu-jitsu instructor and the fact that he probably had to spend Thanksgiving alone or at least without his family. That's my plea. Now, the football handicap.
This is not the angle I was expecting. This is
no, because we can't always rely on the numbers. Sometimes we have to rely on our eyes, which are telling us that she went with the jiu-jitsu instructor. Okay, so now let's talk about the handicap on this game. We say the Browns can really run the ball, so don't worry about the fact that their offense isn't great. Last 4 weeks, garbage time filtered out. The Cleveland Browns, by a large margin, have the worst rush EPA per play in football. Even the one thing they were doing well has gone away. So you talk about the defense, and I think you guys covered that plenty well. On the other side of the ball, they're not doing the one thing that they had done well over the last month. So I have to admit, I was way off on the Browns over the last month or so. I think a lot of people might have been in that same boat with me. And I think if you're going to play anything here, you're playing Tampa Bay.
Yeah. And just one other thing here, again, stuff that you can't handicap and like we can't handicap this or whatever, but like this is also dead man walking situation, right? Because like Deshaun Watson's taking over next week for sure. So it's like Jacoby Brissett knows it's his last start. Like it's like, how hype are you getting for a game where you know you're going to be replaced? Like no matter, Jacoby Brissett could go throw for 600 yards and 9 touchdowns in this game and it wouldn't matter. Like he's getting replaced. They gave Deshaun Watson $250 million. Like he is going to play next week no matter what. So it's kind of like you're Jacoby Brissett and you're like, I mean, it doesn't really matter what I do in this game. Like I'm done. So there's that factor that's kind of looming as well in all of this. So yeah, everything just points to the Bucs for me. Can't see a situation in which we get to a Browns bet.